Hi dolls, I'm LaShonda, and if you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. Please go ahead and click that subscribe button so you can join the LaShonda fam and get some of the LaShonda experience, why don't you? But if you're not new here and you guys are returning, then thank you so much for coming back and joining me. This video is going to be on how to prevent your oils from coming through so soon or so quickly in your foundation routine. Now, if you guys have dry skin, then you might want to click on out of here, because when I say this is for oily, and I'm not talking about no combination to oily skin, I'm talking about super duper oily skin. Like, I have like really oily skin. I mean, like, I wake up in the morning and I can like literally fry a pack of chicken on my forehead. That's how oily I am. And so when I put on my foundation, I've tried millions of foundation. I noticed that halfway through the day, sometimes not even halfway through the day, you know, I see that my skin gets really oily. My makeup starts to kind of break down sooner because it's oily. Now, if you guys have dry skin and you may be here because you have a clientele that's oily, then hey, stick around. This guys maybe can help you too with, you know, some of your clients and give them some beauty tips as well on how to, you know, maintain that oiliness. So if you guys want to see my routine on what I've been doing to kind of prevent the oils from coming through, maybe a lot of steps, but hey, I'm going to tell you, girl, this is going to keep that face matte all day. It's going to keep those oils from coming through. Now, oils will come through, but not a whole lot of oils. You want it to look, you know, more skin-like when your oil starts to come through. So that's what we're going to be seeing here today. So if you guys want to see me and my routine on how I keep the oils in, just stick around. Alright, so now that I have removed the little makeup I did have on, I'm going to go ahead and prime my face. Now, I like to prime my face with several primers at a time, and they're all some sort of oil controlling, shine controlling, or matte type of primers. So the first thing I like to do is go in with these two primers, and this primer is by Radiance and it's called True Complexion, and it looks like this. And it just says it's like shine controlling, and I can get this at like my local drugstore or Walmart. And this one is called Cover FX, and it looks like this. And this one is just, it just says a mattifying primer. This one is kind of like a gel base, and this one is like a cream base. And what I like to do is just kind of mix the two to get the perfect little consistency, and then I go ahead and prime my face with that. So I just kind of take a pea size of both, and I'll go ahead and rub that in and massage that all into my skin. I'm a little bit extra, so, and if you wonder why I have to use three and I don't just use one, because one, every time I use one, it don't seem like it really gets the job done. So that's why I use multiple primers, but I use multiple matte techniques. So, but the next primer that I'm going to use, yes, you heard me right, the next primer, a third primer, is my Becca Ever Matte Porless primer, and it looks like this. So I'm going to go ahead and put this. Now, this has a really thick consistency, and it will get a little ashy on the skin. And I noticed if you make a rubbing motion, it will kind of bead up on the face. So what I like to do is, because this one is so expensive, like I get this one at Sephora, and just this little bitty tube I think is like $15. The big one is like, I want to say like about $30 something. So I don't like to use it all over my face because it's so expensive, and it really like kind of holds in the oils, and I really get oily here in my T-zone. So I only put the Becca right in my T-zone to just kind of save some of the product, and I just pat that in right on my nose and in my T-zone. And I've really been loving using this primer on my brows too. I've already have them done, but I've really been loving the way that it makes my brows look. So I have been using the primer on my brows. I prime everything, you guys. So I'll start to look a little ashy here in a minute. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to spray my face with a little bit of this Urban Decay B6 vitamin spray. It says a vitamin infused complex spray, priming spray, and it says it helps balance the skin, evens your tone, and it's all absorbing. So that's why I like to use it, because it says all absorbing. So, and it looks like this, and it's just by Urban Decay. And so what I'll do is I'll go ahead and spray my face with it. And it's kind of like another primer, if you ask me. So I'll spray my face with that. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do, I already decided to go ahead and just do all my color correcting all my acne spots, because I'm going to go right in with foundation after this. So I'm going to apply a little bit of this Tarte Smooth Operator, and it looks like this. It's just a little sample one that I got gifted to me through Sephora, probably like something I ordered and they put it in a little shipment box or something. But Smooth Operator, when I run out of this, because I've really been loving using it, I am going to rebuy this. But I'm just going to apply a little bit of this right in my T-zone. Yes, I'm going to put powder on my face before I apply my foundation. That's what you're here for. You're here for all the beauty hacks, right? So this is my beauty hack technique. So I'm just going to take a little brush and put a little bit of that powder right where I get the most oily at throughout the day. And this is the first area that I have to blot throughout the day. Is like right here on my cheeks beside my nose, and I always have to blot my forehead. Right in between here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply. Now you can apply any translucent powder of your choice underneath here, just anything that's has a white consistency, you know, nothing that has color to it, because if you add color it may change your foundation color. So that's why I wanted a white powder. So I'm just gonna pat that in really good. And then I'm going to apply my foundation. Go ahead and add a little bit of my Urban Decay eyeshadow primer in my smile lines as well, because they will start to crease up on me once that oil starts to come through and starts breaking down my foundation. That way nothing will settle in those little lines. Now for my foundation, I'm going to use this Loreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation, and it looks like this. I'm not going to use this all over my face, because when I tell you this stuff is matte, it is matte, and I don't want my whole face to look super dry. I only want it to look dry right in my T-zone, because that's where I'm the most oily throughout the day. So I'm going to just put a little bit of this right on my nose and in my T-zone area. And then I'm going to go in with my regular foundation on the rest of my face. And so I'm just going to apply like some small dots here. And I'm going to pat it, because I don't want to rub, because if I rub, I'm going to rub off all of that powder that I put on earlier on my nose and T-zone area, and I don't want to rub it off. I only really want it to like set on top of that. So I'm just going to pat in motions and pat that in. I know this is a lot of steps, but hey, that's what we're here for, right? I said I was going to show you guys how to keep those oils in, so that's what I'll be doing, keeping those oils in. And with my Revlon ColorStay foundation, and I'm going to apply that on the rest of my face. And if you're going to use the Revlon ColorStay foundation for oily skin, make sure it says combination to oily skin. Like, this is the one you need. Don't use the normal to dry one, because those oils will like get super oily with that one. So that's what I love about Revlon ColorStay, is they have like different skin types of foundation that you can use. So the one that I use for my oily skin is combination to oily. And I'm just gonna put that on the outer areas of that foundation that we applied earlier. Okay, now that I have my highlights complete, I'm going to go ahead and set that. Now, if you follow my channel, you guys know that I love mixing the Laura Mercier and the Sacha Buttercup. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to mix these two. I'm just going to mix it in a little, well, like probably in the top of this. And then I'm going to go ahead and set my face with my sponge. So now that I have that mixed, I'm going to take my sponge, the same sponge that I used to highlight my face with. I'm going to go ahead and set my face with it. And you guys are familiar with this technique. It's called baking. Now, I never usually like to bake because it makes my foundation look dry and thirsty. But I noticed I may look dry and thirsty when I get ready, when I first get finished with my makeup. But as I go throughout the day, the makeup just starts to look more natural, more skin-like, because my natural oils start to come through, and then it just helps look even, so that I don't look too oily if I don't bake, and then I won't look too matte as I go out throughout the day, because my oils will come through. You guys get what I'm saying? I'm sure you get what I'm saying. I'm just gonna go ahead and set my face with this. So I'm just gonna press that into my skin. And like I said, I don't really like to bake, so I'm not even going to let this sit on long. I'm just going to do this long enough to get it to set my skin. And I'm going to put plenty of it right in here, because this is the first areas that start to get oily. Go ahead and start to sweep it away, because like I said, I don't like to bake, so I don't like to let it sit on my skin that long. So I'm just going to go ahead and sweep off all of that powder that I just put on. And you just want to sweep it off with a fluffy brush, something that won't really make the makeup lift off the skin, but just kind of like lightly dust those powders away. And then I'm gonna go ahead and contour my face and stuff off film, and then I will be right back. Now that I have all of my highlighted areas set with my setting powders, I'm gonna go ahead with my MAC Mineralize Skinfinish, and I'm just gonna set my entire face with this, just to make sure, you know, everything stays nice and matte and looks smooth and even. And since I baked, this Mineralized Skin Finish is also going to help dust away those powders so that it doesn't look too dry. And then I'm just gonna set my face, you know, at the end with a little bit I'm just going to set my face with a little bit of the Urban Decay Deslick at the end. Now this also says oil controlling and oil free, so I just spray my face with this, and this helps also keep those oils at bay. and that's pretty much how I keep all of my oils in and make sure that I don't look like a total grease ball at the end of the day. So that's all that I have. If you guys want to see a more in-depth video of me with my highlighting and contouring routine, I will be sure to link it below. I'm also going to film an eye tutorial with this look, so you guys please stay tuned for that video. It's kind of like a 2-in-1, but that's all I have for how to keep those oils in. If you guys have any questions, please go ahead and leave me a comment in the comment section below. If you guys find this helpful, please don't forget to thumbs it up, tell a friend, like it, share it, you know, all of that good stuff. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button somewhere in here. Don't forget to hit that, you guys, and I will catch all of you dolls in my next video. Bye, dolls.